Hello, everyone. On Friday, we have probably what's the biggest event of the year for the U.S. national team. It's bigger than the Gold Cup. It's bigger than any friendly we've played because ultimately it'll define our fate or who we play against in the 2026 World Cup, which is where we will judge this cycle. Pete, nervous? Looking forward to it? Don't give a crap?
Definitely looking forward to it. Slightly nervous, but yeah, mostly excited. Mostly like thrilled. Like we've been talking about this since we started the channel, 2026, right? That's the big event, and now we're so close. And once this draw happens, it feels real. It feels tangible.
It kind of feels like the World Cup starts on Friday, I would
Hmm.
say. Right? I know this sounds weird because it doesn't really start on Friday, but that's more or less how it feels like that it starts this Friday. Once we get the groups, we'll start to be able to scout, talk about our opponents, project, look at the bracket. Today, we're going to go through and simulate what might happen on Friday. We're not going to go through the bracket. There's no point because we're obviously going to get most of the simulations wrong, but we can more or less at least picture the worst case scenario for the US, the best case scenario, and we'll do like an actual simulation, which will just be something that can happen, right? A group that can happen. But before we even start that, let me go through the rules of the draw because I think that's kind of important because when I've made videos talking about this, I got called an idiot. I got called this. I got called that. The Scottish people seem to not really understand rules of the draw because I
Well,
was
it's their
doing
first World Cup, Tack. You have to get, I mean, not ever, but they're first in a long time. So they're still
in
getting
their
used to it.
generation, maybe like the
Yeah.
98 was the last time. So because I was I'll show it later. I made a group cupcake and Scotland was in it. And I didn't say they were bad. The problem was I needed one UEFA team and I had to choose between Scotland and Norway. And I went with Scotland. So and they were freaking out saying they wanted to play the Yanks and how we don't know football. And it's like, you fucking idiot. You
First World
idiot.
Cup in 27 years, but we're the ones that don't know much about football.
No, and I'm just saying I picked you. I picked Norway over you. I didn't pick like Cape Verde over Scotland. I'm not even saying the U.S. is better than Scotland. I think it'll be a very tough game for both teams. Um, it's just anyhow. We'll talk about the Scottish people very soon. Very passionate fans though, and everyone, make sure to drop a like if you haven't already. Let's go through the rules, Pete. So this is FIFA. They posted this. How will the final draw work? We have 42 teams that have qualified, and 6 out of the 48 still have to play playoffs. 4 of those 6 are from UEFA. 2 of them are a mix of the Americas, Africa, and Asia. Like Jamaica still can make it.
Jamaica could still go.
They could still make, and I really hope they do.
I
I'm
hope they
rooting.
do too.
Yes. And then
Who
we're
are they
gonna have.
playing? Are they playing New Zealand?
We'll go through that. I don't know actually. I don't think it's New Zealand. I don't think so. So, oh, here. Oh, yeah, it shows here. So we have the 4 pots here. They're all set. Obviously, the host nations, Canada, Mexico, the United States, they're all pot 1. Spain, Argentina, probably the in France, probably the top 3 nations right now. Spain, Argentina, France. Then you have England and Brazil, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. Somehow Belgium is still pot 1 in 2026. Somehow.
Somehow. It's
Belgium is
because of
still.
the past World Cup performances, right?
Yeah, but they were grouped in the last one.
Yeah, but 2018 got them a long way, and then they went to a semifinal. No, they got third in 2018, and in 2014 they made a quarterfinal.
But Croatia made it to a final and semifinals, the last 2, and
That's
they're
true.
pot
That
2.
doesn't make sense.
No. They're just like they have Kevin De Bruyne. We got to put him in pot 1.
Well,
Um,
Doku is the real threat now.
yeah, yeah. And then pot 2, Croatia, Morocco, 2 semifinalists from the last edition. Colombia. One can argue that Croatia, Morocco, and Colombia might be better than the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany right now. Those 3. And they're in pot 2 because the pots are defined by the FIFA rankings. Okay, not a power ranking. Then you have Uruguay in pot 2. They haven't been looking good lately. Switzerland, always a tough team. Japan, a team that I'm actually very interested in how they'll do in this World Cup. If they'll finally break out and actually make a deep run. Senegal, Iran, South Korea, Ecuador, Austria, and Australia. That's pot 2. Now, pot 3, we have Norway, Panama, Egypt, Algeria, Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Ivory Coast, Uzbekistan, Qatar. Somehow Qatar qualified without being the host nation. Saudi Arabia and South Africa. Qatar's there. It's like, um, And then we have pot four: Jordan, Cape Verde, Ghana, Curacao, Haiti, and New Zealand. No disrespect to these six nations, but these are probably the punching bags of the World Cup.
What's
Uh,
crazy is Ghana used to be very feared and respected in World Cups. Like, remember, they beat
we used to
us in
play them all the
2010.
time. Yeah, we used to play them a lot.
Yeah,
Ghana might not be maybe a punching bag. I might be over exaggerating that, but like Haiti, Curacao, Cape Verde, Jordan, New Zealand, these are teams that go there, and if they get 1 point, they should be very happy. If they get 1 point. Some of them, if they score a goal. So,
yeah.
um, and then the other spots are the European playoff teams, which the first one right there is Italy, I think
Northern
Northern
Ireland,
Ireland, Wales, and which is BI? Is it Bosnia?
Bosnia, yeah.
Bosnia. And then the other one is Ukraine, Sweden, Poland, and Albania. Uh, Playoff C is Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and
Kosovo,
Kosovo. Kosovo.
yeah.
Playoff D is Denmark, MKD. What is that? I don't know what
Czech
MKD is, but
Republic, MKD. Is
they
that
probably won't qualify. So Czech Republic and Ireland. And then playoff one, we have Jamaica, and I don't know what is NCL and COD, Call of Duty. I don't know what those teams are. We'll go through it in a second. Playoff two, we have Bolivia, Suriname, and Iraq. So those are the pots. I'm gonna go through
Oh,
to
the
the.
other Denmark's opponent was North Macedonia, by the way.
They knocked out the Italy last time. So they said New Caledonia is there. Oh God, who's playing New Caledonia? Oh, Jamaica's playing New Caledonia. Imagine they tie and lose on
Remember we
penalty.
said the other day that New Caledonia might be the like Jamaica could like beat France one day and lose to New Caledonia the next.
Jamaica ties New Caledonia 0-0 and loses on penalty kicks.
Well, they lost Steve McLaren, right? McLaren's gone, so they're saying John Herdman might be their new coach.
Oh my God! Imagine John Herdman dealing with the Jamaicans.
Bro.
They're my favorite national team after Brazil and the U.S.
Yeah, just for the vibes.
Okay, now let's move on here with the rules. So let's go pot allocation. Oh, that's just explaining that it's the FIFA rankings, right? Host nation and FIFA rankings. We talked about that. This year. The draw will start with the three host nations. Mexico will be placed in Group A as A1. Canada will be placed in Group B as B1. And the United States will be placed in Group D as D1. Now, why are we skipping Group C here?
Doesn't make sense.
I don't know. That smells very riggy to me. But I don't know. I don't know why Mexico's A1 because the opening game is in the Azteca in Mexico
Sure.
City. So it makes sense. Maybe the US should be B1, but we're not. But since we're not, maybe we should be C1, but we're not. We're D1.
Do you think it's
Why?
a way to stop the groups from crossing? But I guess it doesn't matter because of the new format. Groups don't cross anymore.
No, it's confusing. It's also like third place teams can play anyone. It's going to be very hard to project who you play in the knockout rounds because
Yeah.
it literally depends on the results of every group. And by results, I mean even goal differential.
Yeah.
Um, They're saying following the draw of the three host nations, the draw will continue by drawing all remaining 9 teams of pot one. So we're not drawing the host nations; it's already given.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're saying it that way. After all of the teams from pot one have been drawn, then they do pot two, pot three, and pot four. That's pretty obvious. FIFA's general principle, whenever possible, is to ensure the group has more than one team from the same confederation has more than one team has no more sorry
No more.
ensure
Yeah.
no group has more than one team. So essentially you can't have two CONCACAF teams in the same group. You can't have two CONMEBOL teams in the same group except for UEFA, where every single group, all 12, need to have at least one UEFA nation, and four groups will have two UEFA nations. You cannot have three.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, remember that rule because apparently the people from Scotland do not know about it. Okay, please remember that rule. And if you're from Scotland, make sure you remember this rule too. When we put you in Group Cupcake, that's why. All right.
Also, just want to say welcome to the World Cup, Scotland. It's new and it's confusing and it's chaos, but it's a lot of fun. So welcome.
It's very fun, and hopefully you guys make it out of your group so you can enjoy some knockout games because those are the best. Those are,
I think Scottish fans in the United States are going to be incredible. I think it's going to be a
I
lot of
believe so
fun.
too. I was happy when they qualified. I was just pissed
Yeah.
off that they couldn't
I would
really like.
much rather root for Scotland than England.
Hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. And here they also say additionally the highest ranked second ranked team will randomly be drawn into groups in opposite pathways. So essentially Argentina and Spain are in separate pathways. But who cares? I honestly don't think Argentina will make a run again to the final. And then you have the weird bracket, which again, there's no point on going through this bracket today. There might not even be a point to go when we have the groups either, because it's very hard to project when you have the whole third place teams advancing. So
You just
everyone,
real quick want to explain how that's going to work. It's like the top or the top 12 finishers will play the top 12 finishers from the C teams.
you mean the C teams? You mean like you mean like the group
Third place.
schedule?
I'm sorry, not C teams. Third place, like the way it will
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, it'll be like apparently like the runners up play the runners up of each group. That's what it sounded like when I looked at it real quick. And then the first place teams or the top first place teams will play the eight. So the top eight first place teams will play the best eight third place teams.
Yeah.
So it becomes very hard for you to project because you could finish in first and you could play a second place team. You can finish in first, you can play a third place team. And you don't know who you're going to face because it depends on the outcome of each group. So
And each game, like you won't know anything until all the games are finished. Even if it's the last day, you will not know who you're going to play until all the groups are done.
this might be exciting.
it's it's going to be chaotic because every game will matter. Like you let's say the U.S. finishes second in our group. Until all the group stage games are done, we're not going to know who we're going to face. You'll be watching games. It could be one of these 8 teams.
So what you're saying is like one win or one goal could be the difference between playing New Zealand or Spain.
Well, could be. Hopefully not. If you're second in your group, yes.
Everyone, before we continue, because now we're going to do the actual simulation of the groups, which this is where the fun starts. A quick word from the sponsor of this video, Kaushi. The link will be in the description. And while the ad is playing, make sure to drop a like. We'll be back very soon. And this video is brought to you by Kaushi. Kaushi is the first federally regulated exchange platform for trading on real-world events like sports, crypto, elections, and even the weather. It's the #1 predictions market in the United States of America, and it's legal on all 50 states, and you can play as long as you're 18 and older. So how does it work? On Kaushi, users buy and sell yes or no event contracts based on what they think will happen. Contracts can cost anywhere from 10 cents to $1, and the closer the price is to $1, the more likely the market thinks the event will happen. When the event ends, the contracts that are correctly predicted, they'll settle at $1. So if you buy a contract for 45 cents and you're right, you'll more than double your money. Now, if you're wrong, it'll settle at $0 and you lose your money. So always trade with responsibility, please. And right now, looking at their World Cup predictions market, you can clearly see that everyone thinks that Spain are the favorites to win the World Cup, followed by France, England, and honestly, even Brazil and Argentina are there, even though I don't think they're the favorites. And then you got Germany, Portugal, and the United States barely has a shot. With Kaushi, real people put their knowledge, research, and instincts to work, which makes these markets surprisingly good at revealing what people truly think will happen. And honestly, a more accurate representation of future outcomes. Head to the link in the description of this video, which is kaushi.com/tacticalmanagertv, and get $20 when you trade 100. The link is in the description. Once again, thank you very much, Kaushi, for partnering up with Tactical Manager. Okay, let's simulate the group here. And guys, this is where the fun starts. So this is pretty much what's going to happen on Friday, right? I'm just going to hit start draw, and they're going to start drawing teams into each groups with the rules that we talked about earlier in the stream. So I just started the draw. They're starting the draw, and we'll see what the outcome is. This is what's going to happen on Friday, everyone, what's on screen right now. And the first round doesn't really matter to us, it doesn't matter, right, where each team lands. So we have here Netherlands Group C, Argentina Group E. And now it's where the fun starts, everyone. Because now we're going to get Australia. Oh, Mexico got lucky there. Canada got Senegal. Not bad. Netherlands got Colombia. We got Morocco.
No!
Oh, Lord.
Not again.
I can see this happening.
I can totally see this happening. Like our
This would be
greatest
so bad.
ally and also our greatest enemy.
Okay, we're gonna see now. So Mexico got very lucky. They got
Very good
Egypt
group for
now.
Mexico.
Oh, look at Canada, Senegal, and Qatar. Dude, what group are we getting here? Oh my goodness.
Ivory Coast. Oh,
Okay. Okay, I can deal with Uzbek. I know they're not as bad as people think, but it's a team that you should beat at home, the
we
United
better
States.
beat.
But now we have a European in the last one because we need a European in our group. We don't have one.
Scroll it up a little bit because we can't see the bottom groups now.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay. So we are gonna have a European because we already have Africa, Asia. Our last one would be a European nation, so maybe Italy.
I swear to God.
Wait, this is wrong. This simulator is wrong.
Yeah, what?
You can't have New Zealand here. Did
I
they
mean, you
put?
can. Wait, which group has more than two Europeans?
Let's see what they did here. Um, yeah, there's no group with. So you can have no European in one group.
Yeah, you can, technically.
Oh, you can. That is right. They never said in the rules that we looked. They never said that we need to have a European, right? They just said that you can have
Um,
no more than two.
yes, they never said you need a European. You just can't have more than two in one group. I don't see any team with more than two European teams. So some groups could have two European teams, and some groups could have none.
No, I'm
Um,
looking here at the rules. This simulator is wrong because it says here in FIFA, each group will have at least one, but no more than two UEFA teams drawn. So
do you want to
it
do
could
the
not be
official?
New
Is
Zealand.
this on FIFA?
Yeah, it's on FIFA.
That's weird. And they've got their own. Then they've got their
Well,
own
let's
thing screwed
let's
up.
look at it this
Two,
way. Group A, one European. Group B, one European. Group C, one European. Group D, zero. Group E, one. Group F, one.
one,
Group G, two. Group
two,
H,
two.
two.
Germany and Austria.
No, yeah, Australia, sorry. Austria. Group I, two. Group J, two. Group K, two. And Group L, two. So I guess they just put more groups with two Europeans. It should be more diluted.
Do you want to try and run the simulator again and see if it gets it right?
Yes, let's reset. Let's reset and let's do this again. It'll be fun. Start the draw.
Although I would love Morocco, New Zealand, and Uzbekistan. I would take that in a
Yes.
heartbeat.
Yes. And even if it's a European, the other one, if it's like Turkey, and any of those teams, we can try to pull a draw, right? So let's see here. Now
People
we're
are
gonna
saying it's
start.
already been rigged for us. Even the
They're
simulation is
gonna
rigged
remove
for
the
us.
European for has rigging built into it.
Okay, who do we get?
Croatia. That's a tough team.
That's a tough team, yeah. I don't think they're going to
But
be as good as previous World Cups, but they're still going to be very tough.
no, and Modric is 200 years old now. So that helps. It
Is he
makes
what,
him just
41, 42? Him and
it's like
Ronaldo will be the
40.
two oldest, right? At the World
Yeah.
Cup.
Modric goes from world class to just a very good player.
Yeah. Now he's just KDB.
Yeah. He's just better than any midfielder we have.
Yeah.
Algeria.
I'll take Algeria.
Yeah. Tough opponent too, but again, if you want to do anything at home, you got to beat opponents at that level.
Now Mexico gets Morocco. Dude, I would do a Mexico Morocco live watch along.
Yes, that would be a fun one. Hopefully we get like Algeria, so we could get like New Zealand in the last one. That would be good if we can get New Zealand. Ah, Mexico got New Zealand. Who do we get? Italy.
Oh no. Well,
That's not, dude. That's a bad group to be in.
dude, Bosnia could beat Italy. Wales could beat Italy. They lost to Norway twice.
Yeah, they also
Like, it's
barely
not a
beat Israel.
foregone conclusion that it's Italy.
But let's look at this here. And guys, if any other group is messed up, I don't care right now. I want to talk about ours, Mexico's, and Canada's because those groups. Well, Canada has an issue again. This simulator keeps drawing non-Europeans in one group, which you cannot have. You need to have at least one European per group.
No, but Canada
So,
has a European.
but not Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico doesn't.
Mexico doesn't. That's the mistake. But the group we got for the US, Croatia, Algeria, and then the winner of one of the European playoffs, which would be Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, or Bosnia, that could
Yeah.
happen. That could be very well a group for the United States. But instead of, we can run the simulator once again soon. But I want to go through a little bit of what I put, and I want you, Pete. You have the pots in front of you, Pete?
I don't, but I can pull them up.
Okay, I got it. I got it. So I put up on X when I saw the pots, the group of death,
Hmm.
the USMNT group cupcake, and the Rio group prediction. Okay, just so everyone knows, the reason I put that as the group of death is you need to have one European per group. You can't have more than two. So you see those groups right there. I'm gonna put the pots. I want you to help me build together the group of death because I just did this on the spot. And and honestly, as the months go on, we might even change. Like, oh crap, that group got harder now. That one got tougher because teams
Watch,
change.
Northern Ireland qualifies from that European four-team playoff.
It could happen.
Imagine you get Northern Ireland and Scotland in the same group with us.
Yeah, don't trust Italy to qualify. They haven't done it the
No.
past two World Cups. So, okay, Pete, part one, we're there. When we're building the group of death here, we got to keep in mind that we got to put a European at some point, right?
Yeah.
So I ask you for pot two, when I look at pot two, the Europeans in pot two, I don't think they're better than Norway right now.
No.
So I would skip.
If I had to take a pot two European team, which I wouldn't, I would take Austria.
Okay. But we're not gonna pick if we want to build the strongest possible group, we don't want to pick a European in pot two. We'll hold it for the other pots that have weaker teams.
True.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat right there, let us know for the group of death. We're building the worst possible group the US could be in. I'll put it here in front. And I'll check the super chats at the end of the stream, everyone. Here, group of death right now. Who would you guys pick from pot two? I would go with either I'd probably go with Morocco, dude.
Yes. Now, my question about Morocco is this. They had an incredible World Cup last time, right? Semi-finalist, under no expectations. There was no expectations for Morocco going into that World Cup. We beat them 3-0. They ended up getting a new coach. This time, there's going to be expectations on Morocco. And sometimes teams that do really well in one World Cup struggle in the following World Cup. Now, I don't think that's going to be Morocco because they still have a very good team. But I'm very curious how they handle the hype, right? They also just won the Under 20 World Cup and they made it to a semifinal of an Under 17 World Cup. So it seems like this generation of Morocco could continue, right? There's some very good players in their youth teams as well. And they're hosting the next World Cup, right? 2030?
Yeah, part of it. Yeah. They're one of the many hosts.
One of many hosts. But they're hosting, and it's going to be, I'm curious how Morocco's going to do, but yes, either Morocco or Colombia would, for me, be the two toughest opponents.
I would say the three that I would place there in pot two would be Morocco, Colombia, and Japan. I think if
Yeah.
Japan brings their A game like they did in the last World Cup, where they beat Spain and Germany in the group stage, they lost to Costa Rica when they rotated. I would say those are the big three, the toughest teams we could play in whatchamacallit, in the pot two. But I'll go with Morocco because you are right how they will handle expectations. But assuming they handle expectations just fine, I actually do not see the US beating Morocco in a competitive game. I think a draw would be wonderful
I would
if we
take a
close it.
draw, yeah.
Yeah. While I do see the US being able to pull a result against Japan if the circumstances are right, and Colombia is very inconsistent at times. They can go and run over you a 5-0 win. They can also struggle very badly. They're not very consistent. While Morocco is very strong defensively, they're never easy to beat. That's the
Yeah.
problem, right? So now going to pot three. So we let's go with Morocco. And I saw that in the chat, most people picked Morocco, Colombia. I saw a few Japans. So we'll go with Morocco. That means we picked an African nation. So we can no longer pick any other African nation. Pot three. We have Norway, Panama, Egypt, Algeria, Scotland, Paraguay, Tunisia, Ivory Coast, Uzbekistan, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and South Africa. To me, Norway's the strongest
Yeah,
team in that.
it's not close. That's the best team in that pot. That's
Yeah, I
not
know
Scotland.
some
Sorry,
some of
Scots.
the people from Scotland are going to say that they beat Norway in like 2023 or something, but Norway has been quite good right now. I do not want to play against Holland in the World Cup. I would put Norway in that one right there.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree in the chat? Everyone's saying Norway. People are saying Switzerland pot two. I'm sorry, guys. Switzerland's a very good team. I don't think they're better than Colombia, Morocco, or Japan, in my opinion. Yeah, everyone's going with Norway for pot three. So it's easy for the group of death. Now, pot four. I've said this before. No disrespect to the 6 teams that have already qualified, but they are the ones that are out of the group of death. Like you can't have Jordan, Cape Verde, Ghana, Curaçao, Haiti, or New Zealand when you have teams like Turkey, Italy, Denmark that can still qualify.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you is, does it matter which one it is? I would just say that the last team of the group of death would be a European side. If it's Italy, Denmark, whatever, that would be it.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, Italy would be the toughest, right? But this is an Italy team. Despite there's this gentleman on Instagram that keeps tagging us and getting angry at us. I don't know if you've been watching this,
Yes, I
but
have.
he's very upset that we've been saying that Italy has lost a lot of their star power, right? This is an Italy that has not gotten out of a group in a World Cup since 2006, right? When they won it. 2010, they flopped out of the group. 2014, they flopped out of the group. 2018 didn't qualify. 22 didn't qualify. 26 TBD, they may not even qualify. Italy is not the power they used to be. I know they won the Euros, but they won the Euros off of Chiellini and Bonucci, neither of whom are there anymore.
Also, Greece won
And
the Euro, so whatever.
yeah,
It can happen.
so on paper, Italy's still the quote unquote strongest team, but I'll be honest, they're not the Italy. No one thinks Italy's going to win a World Cup. No one
No,
outside Italy. Maybe some Italians think that. I don't think anyone, even a lot of Italians are like, no, no, it's not possible.
I would say Italy if they go to the World Cup because they haven't even qualified yet. If they make it to the quarterfinals, that's more or less their level right now. Round of
That's
16.
excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It depends on who they play, but I do try not to underestimate Italy once they're in the cup tournament. Once they're
Yes.
there, you gotta respect them, right? It is Italy, but yeah. So the group of death would be Morocco, Norway, and supposedly Italy, which is more or less what I put, right? Now let's do group cupcake. Group cupcake. This is the fun one. And this is where we have to actually use our brains a bit, Pete.
Group cupcake for us, for the
Yeah, yeah,
US.
yeah. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Easy
just
as
a
possible.
general group cupcake. Because who's the worst team in pot one?
It's the 3 host nations.
Of the three, who's the worst team? I say Canada.
Yeah, Canada is probably the worst one. And
They
honestly,
still haven't won a domestic trophy, right?
Mexico's been horrible lately, so I don't know.
They've been horrible, but at least they have gold cups, to their name, right? They won the last two gold cups. I know it doesn't say anything, but if you look at the three, I would say Canada's the worst of the three.
Right now for sure. For sure. Like Canada has never gotten even a point in World Cup history.
They
So
haven't won a domestic trophy in 25 years.
no, Canada has a lot, and Alfonso Davies is injured, their best player. That doesn't help them
Yeah.
either. So,
Yeah.
and Jesse Marsh, just like Bielsa, is known for collapsing at some point, starting in flaming hot, like Bielsa we saw of Uruguay. So yeah, Canada's definitely. But it's when I say group cupcake, it means like the easiest possible group for the United States. Well, we cover the U.S. here. We care about the U.S. group.
Yeah.
And Pete, this one we have to be very smart about it because, for example, if you go to pot two and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick an African or Asian nation. If you do that, that's going to force you in pot four to get a European, a strong one. So the way I did this brain exercise is I looked at pot 2, 3, and 4, and I asked myself, which is the weakest European national team of them all?
In all three pots,
All 3 pots, the weakest European.
probably Scotland.
Or Austria? They're probably even.
Even, right? I mean, to be honest, I would probably take Austria from pot two. Get the European team out of the way. Austria or Scotland from pot three. So I would probably take Austria from pot two because then that leaves you a lot of flexibility in pot three.
That's what I was thinking. And I seen the chat. People in the chat, let us know the weakest European team from pot 2, 3, and 4. I was thinking, and you let me know if I'm right or wrong about that. I was thinking of going Austria, Qatar, which would be the Asian one, and then Cape Verde, which would be the African one.
I could see it. You can't do Haiti. New Zealand, always a tough. They don't have a lot of talent. Honestly, I would probably take Jordan over Cape Verde. And I'll tell you why.
Jordan
African
is wait,
teams,
but Jordan is Asia or Africa?
Asia.
Asia. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
picked Qatar, right? So
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, if you pick Qatar, what if,
because
let me
Pete,
think
look at
here.
pot three. Like Egypt is tough, Algeria is tough. The other Ivory Coast, like these African teams are tough in pot three.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Cape Verde
Yeah.
has no experience in World Cup. They're just happy to be there. Um, like New Zealand, I agree with you. They're not great, but they have World Cup experience and they can make the game tough. They
They
can bunker
always
and
make your life difficult.
exactly. So I would rather get Austria, Qatar. Like Qatar in the US is going to be terrible. They were terrible at home, right?
Yeah.
And then Cape Verde is probably the best combo because if you go with what you said, Jordan, then you probably have to pick a
Tunisia?
South American or a African nation in pot three, and they're all kind of tough. Like, right, they're not weak teams.
Yeah. I would probably take Tunisia because I don't know that they're necessarily better
They
than
just
Qatar.
tied Brazil.
Yeah, but Brazil's also looking not
I
so good
know,
these
but
days.
I don't think Cape Verde is tying Brazil.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. I think the problem with me and African teams is they're so unpredictable, right? Like you don't know what you're going to get with a lot of African teams. They could show up and do something amazing on the day, or they could collapse. Like you don't know. But I think overall, you're probably right. Cape Verde, just happy to be there. It's incredible that they qualified and good for them. I don't want to be disrespectful, but they're probably the worst team in this World Cup, right?
Qatar, maybe Qatar.
Mm.
Qatar or Cape Verde. They're I mean, Curacao. Well, Curaçao's fun. Haiti. Haiti too is not a good team.
Haiti,
Yeah.
Curacao, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat, let us know your group camp. Sorry, your I was gonna say camp cupcake. Your group cupcake for the United States. We're gonna go with Austria, Qatar, and Cape Verde. And Pete, I'm sorry, this group it's like 7 point minimum, but we have to go for 9 points if it's this group.
Yes. Yeah. If you can get 6 points and then draw the last game, fine. But ideally, you also want to make your life as easy as possible in the round of 32. So topping your group and scoring a bunch of goals will help you because then you could end up facing a very weak team in the round of 32. I talked about this on my stream yesterday. Someone asked me, would you rather have a very strong group or a very weak group? And their argument was that a strong group would actually get more attention, right? If you get out of that group in the way that we got out of the group of death in 2014, right? And my argument was, sure, you might get a lot of attention, but then you'll show up to the knockouts exhausted because it takes a lot more out of you to squeeze a point out of very good teams or whatever. I would rather an easier group, even though there might not be as much excitement slash attention around the games, because I want to go as far as possible. And I think you can also rotate a little more, right? Like maybe you can sit Serginho Dest one of the games and play Tim Weah at right wing back, for example. And so now you're not exhausted going into the knockouts.
I also think that an easier group allows you to grow into the tournament. It allows you also to make mistakes. Like for example, Argentina had a fairly easy group in 2022. They had
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. That's not a strong group, right? There's no team right there that you look at and say, "Oh, they can make it to the quarterfinals." Those are teams that should just be happy to get out of their group. So Argentina messes up in the first game, but because it's a weaker group, they still have weak opponent or weak enough opponents to bounce back. Now, imagine if they had like Croatia in that group and then they draw and then they're out. You have
yeah,
more room for more margin for error. And again, I don't believe in this thing that you need a tough group to be sharp for the knockout rounds.
no.
You're gonna have tough games in the group stage, regardless of who's there. You're
It's a
gonna be
World
sharp.
Cup. All the games are tough at a World Cup.
Yeah, maybe
To
one
a
won't
degree.
be.
To a
Yeah.
degree.
Well, out of the 3 games in the group stage, at least 2 will be very tough. At
Yes.
least 2. Very
Yeah.
likely all 3. So this whole idea that you need a group of death to like catch fire. Also, we got out of the group of death in 2014, and how did that work for us? We got out the next round.
I think they meant more for interest, right, for the public in the US to be
Well, the
playing
best
against
interest
teams.
is to go further.
Yes, yes. The further you go, the better it is for soccer in
Yes.
this country.
And if we get a group that is not strong and we win the first 2 games, you could even rest key players in the third game in the group stage. And remember, guys, our best player cannot handle a heavy load of minutes. Like to hear this or not, Christian Pulisic cannot handle that. So if we
Well,
could
you could
rest Pulisic,
potentially have Gio and Tillman now starting in that final game just to rest Christian Pulisic, and that's still a very good
exactly.
attack.
Exactly. And resting Pulisic in the group stage and advancing would work wonders for the United States. So
Yeah,
I look, as much as people might say that you're being a coward or whatever, it's like, no, I want the easiest group possible if we can have it.
yeah,
Easiest one
yeah.
possible.
We want to
I
go
have no
because we
shame.
want to go as far as possible in this World Cup. This is a
Yes.
massive opportunity to turn America into a soccer nation. If we make a semifinal at home in a World Cup, the amount of new fans that will become USMNT fans, soccer fans, even some MLS fans, maybe, right? Like if you're an MLS fanboy, you want new soccer fans in this country because there's a chance that some of them, maybe not many, but some will go watch their local MLS team after the World Cup. They'll be like, I like soccer now. Oh, I live in Columbus. Let's see what the crew are up to. They may never have gone to a crew game before, but now they're interested.
I think it's just good for everyone if the US does well. Everyone that works with soccer in the US, everyone that's a fan of soccer in the United States, everyone that plays soccer in the United States, it's just going to be better the further we go. So, group cupcake, Austria, Qatar, and Cape Verde. The reason I say this is group cupcake is if we play Cape Verde and Qatar in the United States, anything short of a very well controlled dominant win, I say at least 2 goal differential is to me disappointing. And then Austria, I could see us drawing Austria. I could see it going either way. Like this is not a scrub team.
Yeah.
But regardless, that is 7 points. 7 points, you probably top the group. And you very like well, you definitely go through. Now, Pete, let's just do for fun here, and everyone here in the chat.
A
Now, let's
reasonable group.
a group prediction, just something that might happen. Let's just
Okay.
do a group
You don't
prediction.
want to try to pick a reasonable group that's neither the group of death nor the group cupcake.
We can. That might be our group prediction, right? That we
Okay.
can do. Okay, everyone in the chat, help us now, and make sure to drop a like in the stream if you just made it here. Try to get us to 200 likes if you haven't already. Do that right now. Last but not least, we're gonna just try to predict the group. Try to do something reasonable, not the extreme worst, not the easiest one possible. Pot 2, who do you think we're gonna draw?
Hmm.
I think
I
Morocco.
think it's written in the stars that we're going to draw Morocco. It's so uncanny. Under 17 World Cup, under 20 World Cup, Olympics.
Olympics,
Here's the question: would you trade all those 3 losses to beat them at a World Cup?
of course.
Yeah,
No.
right.
I would keep the losses and beat them in the World Cup, of course.
That's what I'm saying. Like we lost 3 games to them, but if we win when it matters at a World Cup, I would take it.
And we're also improving the results each time. I think we lost 4-0 in the
Yeah,
Olympics, then 3-1 in the U20s. Then we took the penalties in the U17s. So if we play Morocco now and the pattern continues, we beat Morocco.
man,
So
that would be so fun.
that's our prediction. Morocco will be the first one.
I just think it's written in the stars at this point.
I think so too. And everyone, let us know. Again, let us know your prediction. Okay. Now it's not the easiest or toughest, just prediction. You're just guessing. Unfortunately, by picking Morocco, we will not get Ghana this time. It won't happen
Yeah.
because they're both African nations. Pot 3, Pete.
I'm going to say Scotland.
I feel like that'll happen.
Yeah,
I just feel like, and it'll be a fun game in the US versus Scotland here. It's gonna be a
yes,
fun game.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Scotland as my prediction, and that also takes out the European. The problem is this is pretty tough group so far.
I know. Scotland can make your life very difficult. Very difficult. They're used to playing against big teams all the time in European qualification, in Nations League, right? They're used to that. They know how to handle teams with very good players.
Well, and
Although for the
they have
culture,
good players.
England and Scotland in the same group would be incredible.
They have
They
a good
hate each other.
midfield. Scotland has a good midfield. They do have Andy Robertson still. They have good players too.
Yeah,
McTominay has been good.
McTominay.
McGinn from Aston Villa. They have players from. They all like their players mostly play in like Serie A in the Premier League.
Yeah. Watch
So,
them try to poach Jack McGlynn right before the World Cup. Oh
but
no,
is
he's
it?
Irish. Never mind. Irish.
He's Irish. Yeah, he's
Irish.
Irish. Scotland, and then the last one would be the prediction of pot
4.
4, and keep in mind pot 4, we cannot draw Bolivia or Iraq because they're in the same playoff spot as Suriname. So they would not
Mm,
draw that into our group because Suriname could go through. We
yeah,
also could not draw FIFA Playoff 1 because of Jamaica.
yeah. And
And
we
we
can't draw
also
any of the European teams because we already have Scotland.
and we can't draw any well, no, we still can draw one European. You can have two.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But we can't draw any African nation also. So that eliminates Ghana and Cape Verde. So again, here are the possibilities of pot 4 if we have Morocco and Scotland. We can draw Jordan, New Zealand, or a European.
I'm going to say New Zealand.
You want New Zealand. That's what you're saying.
We already got Morocco and Scotland. Can we have one easier team? It wouldn't be
Imagine.
easy though. I don't know that New Zealand would be that easy. I think they're very difficult to play against because of the way that they play.
Yeah, I'll go with New Zealand too because it would be a freaking nightmare if we got another European. Imagine like freaking having Morocco, Scotland, and another European. That's almost the group of death.
You get Italy, Scotland, and Morocco, dude.
Yeah, so we'll go New Zealand. So our prediction is Morocco, Scotland, and New Zealand. That is a group that we should advance, but that would be a tough group, and it would be a very fun group too, especially playing against Scotland and Morocco. Let me go through the super chats here real quick that they put out. Then we'll close the video soon going through the chat. S27 saying, weather will have a huge impact on the games. You can't play games in Miami before 9 p.m. without having to weather delays and crazy heat. Same with the Northeast. Yes, we saw a little bit of that during the Club World Cup, right? There were a lot of weather delays. It's annoying. We also saw Europeans struggle with the heat quite a bit. While I think South Americans and Americans were more accustomed to a diverse range of heat, right? I
Yeah.
know if you're American and you live up north, you might still come down to Florida or California during the summer or Texas, and we have a more diverse range of weather when compared to Europe.
Do you think this is a World Cup where Europeans could struggle? European teams struggle more than they usually do.
Well, they did in '94, right?
They didn't struggle that much in Brazil, though, right?
We
Like the final was Argentina, Germany. The Netherlands got third place.
Yeah, but we still had two South Americans make it to the semifinals. We also had the quarterfinals with what Colombia, Brazil was there. All South Americans made it out of the group, right? England was grouped, Portugal was grouped. They
Italy
did
was grouped.
struggle. They did struggle. It's just that they have more better teams. They did
Yeah. So
struggle. Also, we had a South American team in the final, Argentina. Brazil, I don't think they would have beat Germany anyway. I do think the 7-1 was a little bit blown out of proportion because of things that happened before the game. But I think Brazil wouldn't have beat Germany regardless, even with Neymar, Thiago Silva, and the coach not being an imbecile. But no, usually, and if you even look at the World Cups that Argentina and Brazil have won, I think they're all out of Europe. Look at it this way. Brazil won in 1970, which was in Mexico. Argentina won in 78, which was Argentina. Argentina won in 86, which was Mexico. Brazil won in 94, which was US. Brazil won 2002, which was Japan and South Korea. Argentina won in 2022, Qatar. It's always outside of Europe. And then 1958 and 62, where were those World Cups? 1958.
58 was in Sweden.
So that
I
was
think.
Brazil they won, but that
Was it
Brazil
Sweden?
team
I
was,
could be wrong.
let me see, World Cup. But that Brazil team was also stacked, right? It was like Pelé, Garrincha, too many. Yeah, Sweden. And 62 was where? 62 was in Chile. So Brazil won in Chile. So only out of Brazil and Argentina have 8 World Cups combined. They won 7 of them outside of Europe. In Uruguay, they won in 1950, which was in Brazil.
What about Uruguay's other 17 World Cup trophies that you're ignoring?
The
They
Olympics that they
won.
count.
They won in the Greek Olympics in the early BC, 200 BC.
Yeah, so to your point about Europeans struggling, don't be surprised if like Brazil, Argentina end up being one of the big title contenders at some point. And also don't forget that we might see a few surprises here and there from random teams going further this time
African
around.
teams, even maybe.
Morocco, like the weather will help them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't be surprised if a European does not win this World Cup. And then they're definitely going to win the next one because it's in Europe. they're winning the next one. That one I have no doubt. It's just a matter of who. Probably Spain, because they're going to host it, and Lamine Yamal will be entering like age 20s, and who knows.
Yeah.
Steven Coons is saying, if ELO rankings were used instead of FIFA rankings, Colombia, Croatia, Norway would replace Germany, Netherlands, and Belgium in pot 1. I'll believe you that you're saying that. I have not looked into it, but you might be right. They're better teams right now, for sure. Devonta Jones is saying, United Sons of Morocco national team, USMNT, we have to win this time, please. They father us. If we play Morocco in the World Cup, we have to beat them this time.
Yes.
And we're going to know on Friday. And it's going to be wild if we play Morocco.
But if we don't play Morocco in the group, there's a chance we could play them in a friendly before that last TBD friendly on May 31st.
June and May.
The reason it's TBD is because they don't know yet who our group's going to be. But the rumors were Morocco, and I want a friendly with Morocco, at least something to boost our confidence.
We should play Mexico and Morocco, because we're not going to play Mexico in the World Cup either. That's a good farewell game.
No, it's already Germany. The second one is Germany.
No, they didn't confirm that, did they?
Yeah, Germany's confirmed.
It would be fun to play Mexico before the World, because we're not going to face them probably. Actually, we could, because the whole bracket is weird.
The rankings don't matter anymore, dude. Once you're out of the group stage, anything goes. Would you take Mexico as the round of 32 opponent? I would.
100. That would be a massive game. That would be the biggest game in this rivalry history, even more than 2002.
Yeah.
Pete, what would Craig Burnley, who's Craig Burnley, think of Scotland
that ESPN Scottish pundit that always shits on the US?
Oh, Lord. I don't know what he would think.
This would be Craig Burley. You know, Scotland's going to come here and make absolute steak and eggs out of the United States men's national team. Pulisic never played against a Scot in his life. He's going to go out there and he's going to think, oh, we're going to have a wee kick about, are we? He's going to get up against somebody. He's going to be like, oh, fucking hell. These Scots don't mess around. They're going to find out very quickly that Scotland's used to playing against big teams. And the US, who you play? Curacao. Jamaica, that's all you play competitively. Scotland's not like that. They got to play against much better teams. I think Scotland's going to come here and fuck you up. I really do. And the US is going to learn what football means. They're going to learn what football means.
Dude, the thing about playing Scotland that I love is that unlike England, it's very tough for us to beat England. We can actually beat Scotland, and their behavior is the same. They behave the same way. So hopefully we do play Scotland. Everyone, once again, these are the pots. We're going to be live on Friday at 11 Yanks for the watch along. So just so everyone knows, let's tell them what we're going to do on Friday. On Friday, we're going to do a live watch along at 11 Yanks for the pots. So as it happens, we're reacting live. Right after the draw, we come here to react to all the groups when they're all ready, when it's all said and done. And later in the day, I don't know if Pete will be with me. It depends on his work schedule. I'm going to do a specific stream only talking about the US's group. I want to look up the opponents. I'm going to have Pete and I'm going to have Adam. So we're going to have different perspectives. So on Friday, we have a huge coverage of the group draw. We're going to do the live watch along, the post-game reaction, the post-draw reaction, and we're going to do a USMNT specific stream. And then expect us to make videos and everything about the teams we're going to face the days following it. So make sure you're around on Friday. It's going to be very fun. We're going to be at 11 Yanks and Tactical Manager TV. And as I said when the stream started, the World Cup starts this Friday. It starts this Friday, believe it or not. And if you guys kindly could drop a like right now, we truly appreciate it. And Pete, any final thoughts?
We're not going to go live at 9 Pacific or 12, right? Because that's just the fluff coverage. Unless
I think
you and
the
I
fluff is at 11 a.m. Eastern. I think 12 is when they start the draw.
Oh, okay. So then 11:45, we'll go live.
Yeah. Even if we have to hang out a little bit, it's fine. But we want to make sure
Let's go 11:30.
Yeah,
that makes the most sense. We can hang out and talk and build excitement.
Yeah, we'll also go and we'll see. Like maybe they'll tell us when they'll start. Matthew saying Golasso podcast said the USMNT would play pot 3 first, then 2 and 4. Yeah, well, they didn't say that. That's FIFA said that.
Yeah.
We talked about this. That's just schedule. And again, I don't know how much that matters. Sure, you want to play the weaker teams first so you get 2 wins and then possibly rest.
But if you screw up against a weaker team, you're really under pressure.
Yeah, so again, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to play all 3 of them. The order doesn't matter too much in all that. And they're saying, What channel is the draw going to be on? I believe Fox will have it. Fox, because
Yeah,
they have the
Fox.
rights. Fox will have the draw. And just come here, stay live with us, put it on Fox so you can watch it live, and we'll hang out, and then we'll do the reaction to it, and then we'll do the USMNT group analysis after. Thank you very much, everyone. They're saying Fox Sports 1, maybe. Fox or Fox Sports 1, either one. Drop a like in the stream. Thank you, Couchy, for sponsoring this. And we'll see you guys on Friday very soon. 2 days. 2 more days.
Okay.